Welcome to part 1 of the Nightmares Run Deep series. Finally, a SemiShiraKawaGata video also on this channel. Very huge thanks to Haikyuu Smirk, who helped me a little bit to understand this ship a little bit better. And yeah, if you're watching this, I hope you like it. I would say just let's go. Have you ever had struggles finding good Haikyuu merch or anime merch in general? Because I for sure did. It can be hard. But this shop offers amazing merch. Like, I'm literally obsessed with the Haikyuu merch. They have the cutest hoodies ever. Now, if you want to get 10% off, click the link in the description. They offer me a collaboration, which is literally amazing. And you support my channel this way. So, win-win. Let's go. Hey, Kenji! Hayata greeted him enthusiastically at the door, but got little to no reply. The other merely hummed an acknowledgement and, looking more dead than alive, wobbled to the stairs. Hayata looked after him, a small pout forming on his lips, and a frown setting in his brows. He heard a low chuckle from behind, and before he got the chance to follow after his boyfriend, a pair of strong arms captured the libero and snagged themselves around his waist. Semi placed a tender kiss on his neck and pulled him into an embrace. He's exhausted from work. Don't take it personally. The smaller sighed and reluctantly gave into the persuasive comfort. I know. Still. Semi hummed in agreement and slowly guided him over to the couch. But instead of following his example, Hayata wiggled himself out of his arms and a little nervously started pacing through the room until he found what he was looking for, the kitchen. I just don't get why they overwork him like that. It's too much. I hate seeing Kenjiro so exhausted, and he always gets so grumpy, and he won't even let me cuddle him anymore. I hate that. He huffed again in frustration, and Semi, although he wished he could offer an easy solution, couldn't help but agree. Seeing his boyfriend so exhausted multiple days in a row left him worried. I know, but the best we can do for now is to let him rest. Not good enough. He quickly threw some stuff together into what looked like it was supposed to be a sandwich. I could always distract you. In his tone, Hayata faltered in his movements and looked at him through narrowed eyes, suspicious. Whatever you're thinking, stop. The musician laughed again and opted for comfort instead of teasing him further. Your favorite movie plus cuddles then? Deal. Hayata ate the sandwich faster than should be humanly possible, or healthy for that matter, and walked in quick strides back toward the original goal, the couch, catching Semi's hand in the process and dragging him along. Shirabu! Shirabu, you gotta focus! Hectic, he ran between the ever-changing hallways, fought himself through crowds of bystanders, and tried to regain control as the noises swelled around him. A high-pitched ringing echoed through the room as his colleagues still called his name, but he couldn't get to them. The words, cold blue, played on repeat in his head, and all he tried to do was catch up. When he finally broke through, his stomach twisted and he froze. The blood in his veins was replaced by icy water as he saw the body before him. Body because his colleague stepped back, declaring, "Time of death, 839. Patient, Semi Eita." Suddenly, the people that had swarmed him before were gone, as were his colleagues. He was alone. The room darkened. The body lay before him on a metal table. He was in the morgue. This time, the voice came through the speakers. Time of death, 567:32. Patient, Yamagata Hayata. Before he could grasp what was happening, the scenery changed again, and he found himself on the side of a road. Sirens and shouting alerted him to the scene. A car accident. Blood soaked the pavement, and as he stepped closer, a person came into view, half squashed by the wrecked car as the firefighters worked to get him out. He recognized the orb in her immediately. Taichi. With a silent cry on his lips and drenched in a small puddle of his own sweat, Shirabu sat up, finally shaken awake by the horrors within his mind. He was breathing rapidly, his hands blindly searching the bed around him only to find it empty. It fueled his panic beyond the point of rational thought. He let out a ragged sob as he searched for the familiar warmth, the horrid images from his nightmares haunting even his conscious thoughts. In a way to quick motion, he fought himself up from the bed and out of the entangled sheets. He more stumbled than walked down the hall, happy for the first time that they couldn't afford a house that might have had stairs. He still, without question, would have assembled an impressive collection of bruises blossoming by tomorrow, with how much he wavered and ran into things. The very scarce and few obstacles they had were small desks and door frames, yet he managed to hit every single one in the distressed state of alert. Whoa, hey, Kenjiro, slow down, what happened? Semi jumped up as he saw the disheveled figure appearing in the doorframe. He leaned against it only for a second before recognizing the taller and immediately closing the distance between them. Semi scarcely managed to balance them both as Shirabu suddenly clung to him. His grip was tight as if his life depended on it, and he hit his face against his chest. Kenjiro, are you alright? Shirabu's head snapped up. His eyes, red and still overflowing with tears, found his, and he staggered clumsily, reaching for Hayato but failing to keep his balance. Semi stabilized him and opted to simply carry him to the couch, expecting a whine of protest that never came. Hey, Kenji, it's gonna be okay. We got you. You're safe. Only trapped between both Hayato and Semi, their arms wrapped around him in a tight embrace, did he slowly calm down. He could hear Hayato's heart beating where his head rested on his chest, could feel the warmth both radiated, so unlike the cold, hardened flesh of his dream. Minutes ticked by in silence. The only thing disturbing the quiet were Shirabu's sobs that slowly died down to soft sniffles, and their breathing that calmly found a collective rhythm. He had threatened to fall apart, but his boyfriends held him together. And as he now assessed the damage and picked up the pieces, he couldn't help but feel waves of shame rushing over him. His grip tightened. He fell out of the rhythm and he hid his face deeper against his lover's chest, wishing nothing more than to vanish. Hey, Kenjiro, it's okay. What do you need? He gulped and tried to pull away, but only ended up pushing himself further into Semi's arms. I'm sorry. I overreacted. It's just... What happened? He soothingly patted over his arms, while Hayato quickly rushed to hand him a tissue. I lost my first patient today. I was doing CPR, but it wasn't enough. They didn't make it. Immediately, Semi held him a little tighter, and without looking up, Shirabu knew that Hayato's eyes would be filled with empathetic sorrow as he listened carefully. I'm sorry, love. That must be really hard. He nodded slowly. I have to get used to it. If I want to work in a hospital, I have to. No, you have to learn to cope, maybe, but this is your first time. Don't pressure yourself. Semi nodded. I still remember when you had some lectures about grief and studied for it. This applies to you as well, you know. You might not have known them personally, but you witnessed their death. You're allowed to take time to mourn that. Thanks. You're probably right. He couldn't bring himself to tell them about the images still haunting his mind, weighing him down alongside the dread ever since the time of death had been announced. Shirabu just felt terribly exhausted, but every thought of sleep brought him back to the memories, back to the morgue, the blood, and the high-pitched ringing of a dying heart. Wanna just cuddle for a bit? He nodded, and they quickly rearranged on the couch. Semi pulled him into his lap and Hayato laid down, his head resting on Shirabu's thigh. Without a word, he changed the program and put on his favorite anime. He would like to thank him again, but his voice was gone. Instead, he opted for snuggling closer into their touch, trying his best to forget about this horrible day. By the time Taichi came home, Hayato had fallen asleep on his lap, and Semi had gotten up to make dinner. Shirabu had to suppress the urge to jump up and hug Taichi closely, making sure that he was as alive and as well as the others. This way he had to wait for the auburn-haired to see the grabby gestures he made toward him and finally understand. You're awfully clingy today. How come? Shut up. I always shower you idiots with affection. Taichi chuckled but hugged him regardless. Sure. Shirabu pressed his ear against his chest, listening to the soothing rhythm of his heart, steady and strong. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked this ship because I definitely want to make more of this. Hiatus work if you watch it. I especially hope you liked it. And if you guys liked it, consider leaving a like because it really will help this channel, and consider subscribing so you won't miss out on anything in the future. And yes, the numbers at the time of death were completely stupid. That was the point because it was a dream. And yeah, feel free to leave your favorite quote under the pinned comment and tell me what you think in the comments. Special thanks to my nerdy neckos. You are amazing in helping this channel so much. Check out my other social media. More videos are about to come soon, and you can see some of my other videos in the end card. Bye! Have a wonderful day!
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.